Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. In the latest Young and Restless preview for the week of October 21 to 25, Daniel looks to be in serious trouble. Read on for the details and watch the video below. Kyle continued to cause more problems for his parents when they suspected he stole a formula from Jabop for Glissade. Then, the ousted Audra revealed that Victor Newman not only poached their son to work for him, but was also the secret investor behind Glissade's takeover. A confrontation between Diane and Victor left the mustache, beaming that her marriage was beginning to fall apart, as was her family, and she was about to lose everything. Previously, Sharon planted bloody evidence of Heather's murder in Daniel's apartment and then tipped Chase off about the stress between Daniel and Heather over her desire to move. Upon searching his place, Chase located Heather's missing phone. But that wasn't all. He then located the bloody towels Sharon stashed in the liquor cabinet. Coming up, in Daniel's apartment, a cop tells Chance, "We've got something." It looks like Sharon's devious plot is working. On video, Danny asks, "What exactly is this evidence the police have against you?" Daniel replies, "Let's just say it's solid enough that I'm expecting a knock on my door at any moment." Daniel does have one hope, as Phyllis has begun to suspect Sharon is the real murderer and has framed her son. Speaking of Phyllis, vicariously attend Michelle Stafford's anniversary party on the set with photos from the star-studded bash. Jack and Diane had been married for 10 years, and like many couples, their love story had been a mixture of joy, challenges, and moments that made them question the very foundation of their partnership. Their lives had transformed from the passionate young lovers who met at a college party to a more complex narrative filled with responsibilities, careers, and the weight of expectations. When they first met, Jack was a free-spirited artist, often lost in his sketchbooks and dreaming of a future where he could make a living creating. Diane, on the other hand, was a pragmatic business student, planning her ascent in the corporate world. Their differences sparked an undeniable chemistry. Jack's spontaneity complemented Diane's organization, and together they formed a dynamic duo that seemed unstoppable. As their relationship progressed, they found joy in their contrasting personalities. Jack introduced Diane to the beauty of living in the moment, while she grounded him, encouraging him to pursue his art with discipline. Their wedding was a vibrant celebration of love, laughter, and a shared vision of what life could be. Fast forward a decade, and the vibrant colors of their relationship began to fade into shades of gray. The pressures of life took a toll. Jack struggled to find his footing as an artist. The galleries that once showcased his work now seemed distant, and the dreams he once held so dearly felt like remnants of a different life. Diane, meanwhile, had climbed the corporate ladder, but the relentless pace of her job left her drained and disconnected from the passions that once fueled her. Conversations that once flowed easily became strained. Jack would often retreat to the studio, lost in the world of canvases and colors, while Diane buried herself in spreadsheets and meetings. What had once been their sanctuary, their home, started to feel more like a battleground, each of them fighting their own battles, but rarely standing together. The turning point came one evening, when Diane found a half-finished painting in Jack's studio, a piece he had started months ago, but never completed. Frustrated, she confronted him. "Why don't you ever finish anything? You just keep starting over and over again," she said, her voice tinged with anger and disappointment. Jack, taken aback, replied, "You don't understand. Art isn't just about finishing. It's about the process, the journey." Diane's frustration boiled over. "And what about our journey? It feels like we're just going through the motions. We're living separate lives." The argument escalated, emotions flaring as years of unspoken feelings bubbled to the surface. They each had valid points, yet they struggled to see the other's perspective. The night ended in silence, a chasm widening between them. As weeks turned into months, the atmosphere in their home became heavy with unresolved tension. Friends began to notice the shift, their laughter replaced by polite smiles and forced conversations. Jack and Diane found themselves at a crossroads, grappling with the question, would it be better to continue this painful cycle or to part ways? Diane sought solace in therapy, where she began to untangle her feelings. She realized that beneath her frustration lay fear. Fear of losing the man she had once loved fiercely and the life they had built together. Jack, too, embarked on a journey of self-discovery. He poured his heart into his art, using the canvas as a means to process his emotions and regain his sense of identity. One evening, after a particularly rough week, Jack invited Diane to his studio. The walls were adorned with new paintings, each one a reflection of his struggle and hope. "I want to show you something," he said, his voice steady but vulnerable. He unveiled a large canvas, depicting two figures, one vibrant and free, the other gray and bound. "It's us," he said softly. "I feel like we've been drifting apart, but I still believe we can find our way back to each other. We just need to be willing to fight for it." Diane felt a surge of emotions. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she took in the painting. It was raw, honest, and undeniably beautiful. "I want that too," she whispered, her heart aching with the realization that love still lingered beneath the surface. With newfound determination, Jack and Diane decided to embark on a journey of healing together. They sought counseling as a couple, learning to communicate openly and honestly. They rediscovered each other's dreams and aspirations, creating a shared vision that honored both their individual paths. Jack resumed his art, not as a means of escape, but as a way to express his love for Diane. He created pieces that celebrated their relationship, each brushstroke a reminder of their commitment. Diane, in turn, carved out time from her demanding job to explore her passions outside of work, reigniting the spark that had initially drawn Jack to her. Months passed, and while their journey was far from linear, the couple began to navigate their challenges with a sense of partnership and mutual respect. They embraced the ebb and flow of life together, acknowledging that love required both effort and grace. As they stood together, hand in hand, looking out at the sunset from their backyard, the horizon seemed full of possibilities. Jack turned to Diane, a smile breaking across his face. "So what's next for us?" Diane smiled back, her heart lighter than it had been in years. "Whatever it is, let's do it together." In that moment, the question of divorce transformed into a commitment to growth, love, and resilience. Jack and Diane had chosen not just to stay together, but to redefine what their love could be, a tapestry woven with threads of vulnerability, understanding, and a deep appreciation for the journey ahead.